Welcome to Stock and Options Trading Unlocked.
If you want to learn how to make 6 or 7 figures a year trading 2 hours a day, this is the show for you.
We're here to talk about everything trading, weekly news, tips, and special guests to get you motivated and profitable.
Don't forget, everything you hear is opinion only and not to be considered financial advice.
Here are your hosts, Athul Patel and David Picard.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing today?
So how are you, Dave?
Excellent.
The
Fun day today.
Yeah. You missed the morning action, but came out strong.
Yep. Patience pays. It's one of those things that took me a really long time to get good at sitting on my hands and being like, okay, I can't chase this. And, I still time to time struggle with it, but was able to just say, you know what, it's lunchtime now. The trade's not going to set up. I don't want to take part in it. Went had a little workout, came back and set up and got a nice 20+% day on my account. So
Very nice.
solid. I'm going to do a write-up later about trade.
So we kind of started this. What was a challenge for me was started this 60 trade challenge, and I'm like trying to do no more than 2 trades a day.
So hard sometimes.
And it's so crazy hard, and that's why I was kind of like semi-checked out for the afternoon. Otherwise, my instinct said like we might have a squeezer into the close, and I was talking about, hey, I'm gonna put an order in for the 41.85s at like 50 cents, right? Maybe, and whatever happens, right? And then I'm like, wait, I'm over trading because I already had 4 trades this morning, one partial. Well, I can't. Stopped out plus 10 cents, whatever. It failed, but then we flipped and we had 3 trades, and 3 for 3 gave a minimum of 3x reward that I wanted, a minimum of 3x on each one
on each trade. Yeah.
Absolutely. So like against my reward, and so I'm like, okay, that's solid, that's good enough work, right? And then I and I don't need to be doing anything more, right? And then, like, of course, the one that at the end of the day, if I had just left that order for whatever, like if fills and then whatever I had check on it at the end of the day, that was kind of like the thinking on it. And that literally went from 50 cents to I think $12. Whoops. But I did see it kind of. I was like, just came back to my desk too later, and I was like, maybe there's something. And I saw it kind of doing it, so I hopped in at $2, and then I sold most at 4, because we haven't had follow through, last couple little few sessions. So I left a runner, and that runner, and then even the runner I sold at like $9 or $10, and that one went to 20, and I was like, Arr! And then I didn't want to chase it at that point because. How many times have you gotten in on SPX on 0 day and you can't do it? You just can't do it because I've been burnt way too many times going late in the day, even though I think it's going to go. And though I've seen things where it goes to 17 to 0 in the last 5 minutes.
Wild.
And so
gotta be careful, size appropriate.
I don't want people to get burnt, and I didn't want to get burnt. And so I'm like, okay, I ran out of contracts. But what a squeezer!
As well today.
What a squeezer today after this range, and I'm kind of frustrated because I wanted 410. I had it I wanted to go long, okay, but only after a 408-410 test, and I wanted to load the boat long for a rip back into 420, and I got that stuck in my head, and I was refusing to go, hey, look, it based on 412. I got to be going. I got to start, positioning.
They held the line there. It's like, and it didn't feel like enough volume to get going. I agree with you. I was thinking, like we might have a little more selling, but,
Yeah, and then as soon as it cleared that 417.50, it started going. I have to start filling I had to fill the gap, right? It was starting to do that move, but if and even after that, if you got in after it cleared the 417.50, that was like still $4 to $20. on those 4180s. So that kind of beasted. But market wise, it's kind of like, we had a huge dump, which we were planning on. Early in the week, yesterday it found support, or Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right, today's Thursday. And the and then we got some gap fill, right? So now we're going into Jackson Hole tomorrow. Sorry, getting folks.
All right. While you're looking at that,
Yeah,
everyone,
sorry.
if you guys have questions, let us know. Type in the chat. We'll get to them in a little bit here.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. I'm trying to coordinate. It's not a rainy day, but I was like, rained a little bit earlier, but I was kind of like, I have a thing where when it's like wet and rainy, it puts me in the mood for udon and hot sake. And so like we've had a couple of like big rainy days lately, and so I'm just kind of like, I'm in the mood. I kind of want to go. I want udon and sake. And so now I'm trying to coordinate with like okay, hey, what's the right, who knows where, and maybe we go after SO2 here tonight. So but yeah, so market did this craziness. We have Jackson Hole fed whatever Pal says in the morning at 10 a.m. I might sit out the morning until 10:30 with the first hour of whatever craziness happens, and then hopefully that'll let us know what to do, right? Are we gonna just sell all day? Are we gonna rip up again? Like what, right?
Yeah, and I think like big picture, right? Thinking about this, even if you're day trading, you want to make sure you're positioning yourself properly, right? Because most likely the market's going to have a larger range move, right? And because of that, you want to just be thinking big picture, right? What are the levels you want to set yourself up against for that right risk reward?
Yeah.
It's not a day to be really focusing on trying to scalp small moves. It's how do I set myself up for success? Or at least that's how I'm going to go into it.
Yeah, actually, because I'm actually looking at tomorrow as a place to possibly position for the next 1 or 2 weeks, right?
Even
potentially,
better,
right? Like I'll take some scalps, but I also might be entering for a position to hold for the next week or two, depending upon what happens, right? Like we were to get a rip up into 428. 429.
I was just gonna say
and fail.
I'm re-entering the
puts.
What I was actually in. I'm re-entering what I took profits on.
Yeah, I'll be going back in the puts, right? Like
late September, October. For me, at least, that's what I was in.
Yeah, no, and I got out for the double on the bear puts, and now I'm looking to reload.
You were in the spread.
I was in the spread. And now I'm looking to reload. I mean, they came back to like $14, I think, or maybe $12 in the close today. I don't know what they are at, but they hit from 10 to 20. Yeah.
On SPY going out to September and October.
Yeah, and I think those will be great again if we get up there, right? I still struggle to believe that we're headed to new highs. Like plus we have the counter alert, the counter the counter indicator. Kramer said that
lows are in.
Kramer said that
the
lows are in. So now I'm looking to go short.
Buy hand over fist, guys.
Right. So we get this rip, we get everybody baited in, like we're going in. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd have to see us like SPY 432 volume push, like big time.
Yeah.
Maybe even 433 or over to really be like starting to find I'm not going long chasing there. I'm actually waiting then for the right place to set up potentially for a pullback.
Exactly. So what I would want to look for is say put rips, let it go to 435.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair, yeah.
Then let it come back and retest 430. And then if it pulls back, holds 430,
good risk reward.
Now I can join that long, right? Because we're now showing, hey, we cleared the 200-day moving average. We're now back testing the 200-day moving average. Okay, now we've got a reasonable story and risk reward to work off of. But until then, I'm sorry, I still have to stick with.
I'm a bear.
I'm a bear. And yeah, I don't know if you saw the tweet I put out yesterday. Like
This is what it is.
the cat that did you see the meme I put in? And I
Oh,
can't remember. What did I say?
what was it? I
But
don't
it was
even
something about a
remember.
squeeze, right? And it was basically a cat that was like hugging a bear, right? Like a bear doll or whatever, right? But what I was trying to say there, I don't know if anybody picked up on it, was that I was looking at, hey, this is it's a dead cat bounce, like but not really a dead cat, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about Bed Bath and Beyond, just to give everyone is
Okay.
correct in that. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It might have been. I don't remember, but I was looking for
Just to give perspective
a
to
bounce and a
everyone.
bear squeeze. Yeah, but a squeeze of
Yeah.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to also give a little perspective, which
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense because also, who knows what the man who started that is thinking right now?
If if it's
could
not him,
pilot.
if it doesn't even need to be him, right? He just needs to be another well-known guy. I
True.
mean, it wouldn't be good if it was him. Actually, for him, he won't get. I don't think it'll have the same effect. It maybe it would. I don't know. But if we had it, if it goes back to $5 or $7.58, and there's another well-known investor activist out there, he could have done the same playbook, right? Come in, load up, accumulate for a month or two at like $5, $6, $7 on Bed Bath and Beyond. Do the same little thing. Now it's, hey, look, I now have a 10% position or 12% position. I'm also buying these crazy calls. Guess what? People are just they're gonna load right back up. They're gonna try it again because they missed out for last time, and it'll probably do it. I don't know if what's that they could
Might
probably
not be the same. Might not extend as far.
Yeah, it might. Yeah,
Might be a little smaller.
It might be
squeeze
muted at
that
this
time.
point, right? Because
Yeah.
people are like going, "Oh, that's the playbook."
Yeah. But
Right, but the what gave it the fuel was that long dated calls, and that went out to 23 at $70-$80. That's what gave it the juice to push into 30. It was brilliant execution. But yeah, so what else going on in the market? We got the Jackson Hole thing. That's the big.
yeah, I mean, really, everyone's been waiting on that. It feels like it's been like kind of a wait and see week. Definitely, I traded light this week so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. One, us talking about a little challenge and trying to trade less. You got to remind yourself of that and get into the rhythm of it too.
Yeah, it's
But-
hard, right? Like, but I mean, just for those that aren't kind of aware, we're running this 60-day trade challenge, and the goal is to help folks recognize you can actually make a lot more by doing less, right? And
For
going to shoot for 2 trades a day, but where you get your 3x reward your risk, right? You risk $500 to make $1,500.
Yeah.
Right? If you have 2 wins on that, and you've got if you're doing, say, a 10K account, you just grew your account 30% in one day. Very doable, but you gotta hawk for those plays. And then some days you're not gonna get it, right? Some, like I think yesterday I was down 6%. Totally fine within my model, right? Because I have days where I'm gonna be up 20, 30%. I'm not gonna bat an eye at being down 6%.
I agree.
Because I took the plays that yesterday because I was still kind of bearish, and they didn't have the follow through for the downside, right? But I hit my quota. I'm not allowed to make more trades, and that's part of it, right? Versus, hey, I gotta do more. I gotta go find something else, right? Because what I find is that's where it's too easy to not wait for the best setup. Let me phrase that. Not just do you not end up waiting for the best setup, but you end up being so focused on the mini scalp, you miss the best setup.
Miss the larger.
You miss the big trade because you put yourself in this mode of scalping for a little bit, versus going, hey, this big thing is setting up. If I'm right, it's gonna be incredible. But
Incredible.
you're gonna miss it because you're too busy going after 50 cents and you miss a $5 or $10 trade play. right?
Yeah.
Going for 50 cents or a dollar because you're not being patient, not waiting for the right setup. You're just kind of being busy, doing busy. Oh, then you're messing with your mind because, oh, I made money. Oh, I lost money. Oh, I lost more money. Oh, now I'm red on the day. Now I'm like, you're all aggravated. And you're bringing all that energy rather than just saying, hey, look, I only got a budget of 2 trades today.
Yeah.
I only want to take ones that I think are going to pay me at least 3x or 5x or 10x, whatever your system's model calls for, right?
Yeah.
And so we're running that challenge, and so I'm really curious to see how people do doing that.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's gonna be fun.
And it's also it's making it a little bit harder for me because I'm kind of like forcing myself to find the right balance between these certain plays and then just checking out, right? Like I have to do because when I'm near the screens, I'm going to want to trade, and it's really, really kind of hard.
I'm just like shutting down toss when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Whatever platform you have. But what I found is best.
And
No trigger, no trade, Neo. I like that. Sounds like someone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this in our chat?
Yeah, he said he's looking for 4228 to 4240 push on ES, which just looking at ES, I could definitely see. We kind of been through that, like I think it's like 4125 to like maybe 4280-90 zone, chopping between for a while. So I could definitely see that range happening. I would love to see that for a rejection, actually, for me.
Cool. Oh, hi, Neo. Nice to see you on this. So I'd love to have you on the show next weekend. I mean, not next weekend, but next week. But let's chat and talk. And here, we're gonna move over and start talking about some charts here in a second. But
Hey, Sin.
okay, let's go ahead and let me get my. Let's go ahead and keep talking, and I'll be right back. I'm just gonna switch and do some studio work that I gotta do.
You're gonna do studio work. All right. Any charts you want us to go over, Neo, Sin, anything like that? Anyone else? You will be the double top queen, girl. Don't worry.
Yeah. Let's see if I've got it over here. There we go. I think, okay, I got that. Get our YouTube.
It's probably one of my favorite setups, actually.
Yeah, so the setup we had in the
tops are
afternoon,
more
I really love. If I have strong conviction that something's going to play through, this is gorgeous. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But okay, I think we have it here, and let's go ahead and let's go take a look at. So I think I now have the YouTube in here, and we can see the charts, so it should all be set. So just got SPY here, and for those that we wanted the gap fill, right? We've mostly got the gap fill. Came right to this 414.50 level, and so that gave a great long opportunity that we did this morning. And went right to the 417, and I kind of mentioned watch for this pre-market high in case it pops or rejects there, and then there's a short opportunity there, and that worked out great. And then I took a small long again here, and then it pushed the VWAP, and then I got stopped out. That's okay. But this was my long entry because for this move up here in the end of the day. But we get theta crush. And so it pushes, it comes back. I think I got stopped whatever here at my entry price, but that's okay. It is what it is. But the thing is, the little lesson I want to have here is that when you're playing with options, especially on 0 day, you don't need to worry about nailing this bottom during lunch a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just wait for a push and wait for it to come back to VWAP, and then go ahead and get in. And if you're wrong, you're going to lose whatever. Trade small. But if you're right and it clears, you can add to your position risk half. It's not going to come back to your entry once it says a real breakout. because you're gonna have such a good entry. And so like if here this entry on the 4180s were $1, this was I think $4. It never came back to 3. Right. So you never would have lost, and you could have added to your position. You would have had the buffer and then let it run. So it was kind of a neat setup. But the key thing here is that for afternoons, wait for VWAP. You know, don't try to force it. Yeah, VWAP will give you. And if you're right, you're gonna be right. If you're wrong, you're gonna be wrong. But it's the right risk reward because you're buying it here at maybe $3, and here it's at $1 before it goes. You know, I don't like to be. I hate that red. I don't like riding red at all. And yeah, I'm allergic to it. I like to wear red though, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, Neo. So you know you've been killing it in futures.
Says he's currently short NQ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see an overnight dip back, for sure. Oh, okay. You'll be in Destin. Well, when you come back, that'll be the week after. We'll love to have you on, and we can all talk about futures. But what charts do you want to go over, David?
Well, let's see. I think we should go over Russell, RTY, or IWM, whichever you prefer. Once again, it was a great leading indicator. So I think it's important to look at. Let's see. Do you think you maybe want to go over energy? I would assume you've been doing. I mean, you had a great Oxy trade. I don't know if you're tracking energy still. XLE.
Oh, I just look at crude oil straight price, and yeah,
okay,
this looked like
CL
yesterday.
Futures. I'm good with that.
This looked like we topped after a big run. You know, because we just came from 86 to 95. So I'm looking for you know, come back to 91 or so for a possible long. Let's see where I haven't even looked at Oxy.
Since that trade, I didn't know if you were kind of eyeing it still.
Yeah, well, we took most right yesterday into that thing, and we pushed for a little more 76, and then got stopped out, and it broke the open or read the green line today. So it is what it is. You know, I'll look to see what happens tomorrow, but we got the 75 plus target that was set last week. We did not get the 77 to 80 for this week, so I'm going to shift that another week out.
Yeah,
but it's setting up. Oxy's definitely setting up for that. It just looks like it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. It might take a little more time, but that's okay. There's so many plays. The interesting thing I've got right now is that VIX hasn't gotten under 21 yet. Right, so I'm still kind of open to the setting up for the shorts. But if it breaks under 20 again, then we should shoot up. I think we're going to shoot back over 430 on SPY. If it gets back under 20.
Yeah, and I think the reason I mentioned RTY, the Russells, I think is at kind of a pivotal point. I think it's 1960.
I mean, I'll do the you want I can bring up the
and you could either way, IWM, it's probably about equivalent.
Okay.
So either one. I'll just talk
I'll just do I'll do the hourly here so everyone can see a bigger picture. So this is what we're talking about.
Like, right? Or even daily. Right. Like you can look at it. Because I'm talking for a bigger picture look, and this is where I'm looking kind of at SPY also in correlation too. So I mean, we've had some, like I'm looking at it on a yearly. 1 day yearly, and this 1960 area could reject here, and then you have also the 200 day just above it at 1990. So those are going to be two pivotal areas, which probably correlate to 190, yeah, like 196 ish, you know, 200 ish, right? I would assume on there as the level. 1960, 196 makes sense to me. I don't do as much work on that like we do with SPX and SPY to know those kind of exact numbers, but should be about right.
Right. Okay.
And to me, this could be a leading indicator
So
of what's going to happen
this
next.
blue line here that you're going to see is roughly the 200 moving average. Should be coming up here any second.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's showing at 198 on IWM. So I'd love to see this push test fail again, and then we double top, kind of like this, right? We had this thing, you know, or
lower
it's
high.
here pushing back up before it starts doing all of this, right? So we're looking for that push, start, then boom, smack down. At least that's the pattern I'm looking for, right?
And that's what I'm seeing it, and that's what I'm saying. To me, this sometimes leads SPY. So that's why, or S&P 500. So this is one of the things that I am keeping on my charts, and that's specifically what I'm looking for when we're going to be doing that push. Hopefully that we're going to get to position ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, so that's what we're kind of setting up over here. Start looking at I'll be right back. Let me just in the live stream. There we go. So yeah, so same thing. You can see. Oh, I thought it didn't pop it up. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, so /ES, that's right up here. We had a nice push right up into here. I'd love to see this come back right into this roughly right around here. 428, fail, and then start this big dump. Right? Now I'm not sure what that is. Probably Theo price or something.
That's
open interest. I'm not sure why that's even there.
It shows. You can right click and remove it if you want. So yeah, so we'll see how this. I mean, this is definitely a great setup. I think that you know, the way I kind of look at this, right? Let's just, if we were to pull back, and I'm going to change this period to go from 1 year to let's go 10 years. There we go.
Okay.
This is the big picture stuff.
This is the super big picture. Look at this move here, okay? So this was kind of steady. This, in my opinion, is like we went parabolic. And and we went parabolic, right? So now at this point, I'm kind of looking, I mean, my target is really end of year 3,000 to 3,500. Actually 3,300. And well, I was saying end of year, but yeah, I think by the end of the year we should hit this. And some people are even calling for a full reset all the way down to 2,000 to 2,500. I don't know if I'm gonna get that. You know, but I just from
That
this,
was
this is a
the
turn,
truck up point
right?
a while.
This is a big turn for the moving average. If you think about it. Look at these other ones. It's a kind of a little bit of a turn, right? Hey, this is a little bit, even with the COVID big thing, a little bit of a turn. This is a huge shift. You look at this turn. I don't think we're there for this to start continuing. I don't see any reason for that to be, and from a macro standpoint, for why this should develop into a more move up to the upside. I'm gonna go return this call, but if you want to talk about couple charts, I'll be right back.
Sure, no worries. Keep going. Hard for me to talk without the control. But so yeah, I absolutely agree. And before going higher, to me, I would imagine we'd have to see some constructive price action to help correct that. Because that's been, like you're saying, a large turn in the moving average, which we really haven't seen before. Now, if we want to, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. I think maybe some other couple charts to look at. If you'd like, snow would be maybe an interesting one. You crushed it, if I remember correctly on that one.
It was okay. I mean, it was just.
Didn't you get 3x on that?
Yeah, but I wanted more.
Okay, and then I think Tesla might be worth looking at too.
Yeah, I mean, I got I think
Both
it was
those charts.
$1.80, 50 cents, and it went to $5 or $4 or something, or $5. Yeah, $5.
But it could be
from
setting
2.
up for a move to, I think, that 200.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I was looking. I was thinking we were going to hit 200 today and 210 tomorrow, but we'll see.
Could
Right?
do it.
It's all. I think it's going to be. It did a big move already, and the targets are 220. Right? So it's going to start running into some sellers. Right, and some profit taking. I think.
Sure.
What are the charts, guys?
I would bring up Tesla. I think that'll be something to look at.
Okay. So this looks like it had some pretty steady selling.
Yeah.
And you can see here we're basically double topped on the 200-day moving average, tried to push here with the split, and got sold off. Now it's kind of like in a weird kind of, I think Tesla's in a bit of a weird situation. Right now, so I mean, if you were to look here, we've got this kind of reclaimed here, but right now it's kind of starting to look a little bit like we have that going on, and we have this triangle right here going on. And now, whichever way it breaks after that, it can do whatever it wants to do. But it's really, I don't know. I don't have a read for where Tesla's going to go from here. If we had held over, if SPY had held over 430, then I was pretty sure that Tesla was going to head back to 1,000. If it had held over there, the way that the price action was. But at this point, it's consolidating.
Yep. So it needs maybe a week or so before you think the move will happen. Digest the split.
Yeah, I mean, we've got probably till it's next week. We should get, by next week we should get a direction, right? So this is like 8:31.
I'm just looking at the chart, right? Trying to kind of guesstimate about where we should expect to move by.
Yeah, so by probably Tuesday next week. I mean, possibly even tomorrow, actually. Once there's some...
That's true.
This
Everything could be consolidation, chop, wait, and see for the Fed.
Yeah.
Powell.
And the other interesting, so we'll have some news and direction. I wouldn't be even surprised if we end up like everyone's all like excited something's going to move, and then there's just a big bull bear fight tomorrow. And then what we have is once that news kind of settles in, then we have end of month adjustments, right? That happen next week, Monday, Tuesday. So that will kind of affect, I think, next week should be really fun. We should be able to make some really good money next week.
For sure. Check out Sava.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There will be some moves.
Yeah, it looks like, anytime it dips under 20, it might be a decent long spot. For possible swing. What's your thoughts on it?
It's up like almost 10% after hours.
Oh, must have had news because this actually ripped. This is actually I missed it.
That's why it caught my eye just now to bring up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I was thinking right now is that I was actually kind of annoyed because I never knew this. I didn't realize Sava came back under 20, and then I didn't know this move happened because this right here on this pullback would have been a nice space to accumulate for a swing.
Yeah.
And then now it's up 10%. It's probably about 31 right now. 30, 31.
No, sorry, 29. I might have been off. It might be 8%.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's this tomorrow. I mean, if it's given this volume picked up, we should watch out tomorrow, right? Because if it has some sort of dip, this could really get going, especially on a Friday, and it could end up paying nicely. I'll have to go. Yep. I'll dig into the news on this in a bit.
Sorry to just bring that to you. It just came to my attention on my screen, so it was like, down, blah blah blah. And I'm like, let's look at it.
Yeah, there's definitely set up, right? Flushed
Work
out,
date
based.
as well.
came here. Yeah, it's still a little bitter. 500 to 12 grand.
All right. Let's look at Affirm.
Okay.
Just trying to give you work for tomorrow. Get you excited.
Yeah, this had been running. We had talked a little bit about the short for this a while back for a swing.
Look at this.
And I was looking at short. I think this. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was 32 or 35 area. You wanted 45, and
Sometimes
it got to 40.
sometimes I have high hopes.
And broke back here, and now the bad ER or something, and it's yeah. So yeah, we'll be sure to take that tomorrow. All right, so looks like I do have dinner plans, so I might have to cut it off. Unless there's questions for folks, I would love to answer some.
Yeah. Anyone have questions or another chart they want us to review, or we hop off?
The double top queen.
Yeah.
Double tops, double bottoms.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, no trigger, no trade, right? And also you want bigger picture, not just like these little moves, right? Trigger for the move that you want.
Yeah. Is that like a coined phrase by someone? No trigger, no trade. I feel like it is from a trader.
Know. I've never heard it before.
I'm like scratching my head. It reminds me of someone, trader I know that would say that all the time. Who is it?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well let's I guess I'm not seeing any more posts, so I want to thank everybody for coming, and be sure to join us for if you're not yet a subscriber, be sure to subscribe to Daily Market Edge. You'll hear my pre-market prep and thinking about what's going to happen in the market each morning, what stocks I'm planning to focus on. Might give you some ideas and names on tickers that you're not looking at. And so I focus on momentum and what I think is going to move. Today, I think half the list was all on like 6 names were based on ER, earnings winners and losers, and those moved, right? Those all gave plays. And so while we don't always, SPY and Tesla was tough because it didn't give a huge range, but I like to have those as additional opportunities, especially when it's a Thursday or Friday. And because when you have combined that, you can usually get cheapy contracts and big moves and decent payouts. So with that said, thank you, David. Thank you, Neo, for coming in and popping in to say hello. And I hope to see everyone next week on Thursday.
Sounds good. See you then. Take care.